Coming at the guy at the speed of sound. What? I don't think I don't think the Sonic the Hedgehog song was actually going like that. Okay. Um. mm, Stack writing, I guess. Okay. Copy, post, paste, copy these, post. Go in here. Flame sand. Alrighty. So, and I need to take these. Change that. Is there writing? Yeah, apparently there is writing and reading. Okay. Okay, there is actually writing and reading category on Twitch. That's surprising. Alrighty. So folks, this is exactly what it's going to be. Just like last week, we are going to sit down and write my thing. I kind of need to, because I need to figure things out for, you know, for my thing. So basically, we have the. So I was thinking that we can go for on it saga by saga, so we wouldn't have to go that far into the thing. So you have Davis's Escape Saga. I don't think there would be much, but there's like going to be the thing where Davis is just going to also go just run around the island as a kid, so he's going to meet people and stuff. So does this. Hi Ayumi, good to have you here. How are you? Hope everything is going. And yeah, Davis-san, yeah? Yeah? What's that? Why you said Davis-san? Hi T, good to have you here. How are you? Hope everything is going. I'm doing good. Just, you know, just rested a little bit after work. It's my weekend. Got way better after the sickness. Way better. Respect. Oh my. Yeah. I'm feeling way better now after sickness, so I was today at work. Quack. Hi Zaga, got to have you here. How are you? Hope everything is going. Sagas. How's it going? It's alright. I'm still sick. Oh no. I don't know how this works most of the time. My writing is just me huddling up to something and thinking about it. Writing? Like for manga, you mean? Actually, I have very specific method for writing. It's like I've kind of developed like method of writing based off of the snowflake method. So for right now, I've wrote the one sentence description in the last stream, right? So I've wrote one sentence description. I've expanded it to 3-sentence description, and then I've turned that into 9-sentence long synopsis. So I know how the entire story goes from top to bottom, so I know how it ends too, right? So I have all those like crucial elements, how the story progresses for the hero and stuff. And it's just like going from the majority to the details, right? So we describe the story in like very huge general And then we are starting to add more and more into the story, like making more and more details. So kind of something like you have right now, right? Like writing and handling up things to just think about something. It's good for gathering ideas that you can get into the thing. So the general thing is that you just write like an idea and you hoard all those like ideas somewhere, like those sticky notes, right? And you just at some point find them or like you remember we're writing something and you remember, oh wait, actually I've had a good idea somewhere here that would fit in here, and you find that one idea that you wrote like 2 months ago on a sticky note or on a napkin, and it's literally fitting perfectly into the scene you need to write. For mangas, it's going to progress a little bit differently too, because actually now as I've got the synopsis, I've wrote sagas. So I've got all the sagas in the by name, and their 1 sentence descriptions. So I've split that synopsis into how the story would go into sagas, because it's actually, you know, for mangas it's really good to split it into some kind of sagas to have like some like main points to go for. And basically you just have you just expand it just as you were expanding it previously, right? And this is where we are at now in the story. So we've wrote all these sagas. So we have Davis's Escape Saga, School of Heroes Saga, Jupiter Saga, Venus Saga, Saturn Saga, and Battle of Gods Saga. All of those are going to have their arcs, right? So for example, like, okay, let's say Davis's Escape Saga is not going to be really split as much into sagas because there won't be much, I guess. But it's going to be like just one kind of saga, like Saiyan Saga in Dragon Ball, right? You have Saiyan Saga before they go to the Namek, and that's literally like just a short thing, right? Like they train or do something. That's more or less what I'm planning on those. So yeah. Why Nyakos take a while to recover from sickness? I don't know. Maybe go to the vet. Hi Muto, got over here. How are you? Hope everything's going. Beam, aim, especially compared to humans. Yeah. Blushy, yay. How's the cat? Did you do the cat? Yeah, the Kado. How's the Nyang Kado? So yeah, we've got the Underhouse cat. Oh my. So we've got the sagas. I'm going to split it into arcs as much as possible. So for example, the Davis's Escape Saga is like introductory thing, like Saiyan Saga, so it's going to just have one thing. I won't really introduce much into that. And yeah, I guess we should be good. So Davis, after escaping the tortures brought upon him by his clan, he runs into the desert where a kind merchant family helps him and sends him to School of Heroes. Okay, but Nina scared her. So we have now how it's going to split. It's going to be very specific. What I like to do is that I'm taking 1 page in Word document per step. So now I have sagas. I've had all the sagas enlisted on 1 page, but now I've split them into their own separate pages. But now as I'm going to split them more, right? I'm going to make it just so the sagas would be as a title font 4, because sagas are title font 3, right? So I'm going to see it in Google Docs so I could just quickly jump between them. And I'm going to do the same treatment for the other steps too. So now we know that, for example, I can just click on Davis's escape saga, and now I see, you know, the first sentence. One sentence description. And yeah, it's just as simple. And now I'm going on another page, and I'm going to split it into 3, because it's going to be 3-sentence description. 3-sentence description. I know that it might be a bit convoluted kind of writing, but for my brain it makes a lot of sense, because I have a lot of control what happens where and what, right? So we are now just going to split that story into 3, then into 9, so we are going to know like what's happening in that entire saga, right? So like what's going on, who Davis meets, etc, etc. And then we are going to split it into chapters, right? So we are going to take once again synopsis and another split, right? So we are like stretching it and stretching until we get like really nice blocky description, because after stretching that into chapters, we are going to get into something further. We are going to explain the entire story of the chapter, and basically you can just figure stuff out while writing, when it comes to like what's going on in the story, and you can split that into scenes, and the scenes are going to be your pages, and then as you have a scene you can split that even into paneling, so you know what's happening in each panel. What I actually recommend is taking later on that entire description and writing proper scenario later on, because you know exactly what's happening in the chapter, you know exactly what's happening on each page. You just now need to write everything in a proper scenario kind. Actually, I would do the scenario still in the same file, not a biggie. It's like, you know, just writing things. So, you know, writing. Did you fed it? Yes, but we are buying her cat food. Can get you Petco gift codes? I think so. So 3-sentence description, right? So Davis escapes after escaping the tortures brought upon him by his clan. He runs into the desert where a kind merchant helps him and sends him to the School of Heroes. Okay, that's a very long. That's not really that long description. So that's kind of like stretching things, right? So Davis locked in the clan's dungeon. After years of torture, finally puts an end to it. I'm going to like say it out loud. I guess it's not going to be really like, you'll know by the description, but I guess just as I'm going to say those things, what I'm writing out loud, I don't think it's going to really affect things as much, because also I can change things later on a little bit off stream, and you know, in most of the times, like, we are going to write all those things top to bottom. You'll forget what's happening at the start because we are going to be at the end. I'll start drawing and you'll forget what's happening at the end. So it's like just going to be like the thing, unless someone has like absolute memory and is going to register every single detail. You know, but like, yeah. Finally puts an end to it and releases himself by the with the help of the power he was shunned for. There you go. After running away from the burning village, Davis passes out in the middle of the desert where traveling merchants find him, and decide to help the boy. I'm saying boy because at this point Davis is about like 12, 13-ish, so he's still a kid as a matter of fact, but you know, looks into the distance, faint harmonica melody starts tumbleweed rolls with the breeze of the departing train. This town smells like cheese. Dear Lord. After waking up, Davis helps out the merchant. Like, I really need to figure things out, like what I can, like what else I can add to the story. Maybe like some funny side stories. Appears to help out the merchant in various daily tasks, meeting new people and making friends. I guess, like the thing is that Davis comes from comes from nomad clan, right? So they're like, they're wild, they are bewildered. A bird that accidentally looks like Atlas and confused why people chasing it. Oh my. So that's the 3-sentence description. So I'm kind of like describing more or less the events of how things are proceeding. So now we kind of want to expand it into 9 sentences. Okay. That'll be saga synopsis. So we are going to have several like synopses, right? So we have entire story synopsis. There are going to be saga synopsis, and then we can like also say that there's going to be like chapter synopsis. It's really cool because you are going to meet with many details and you are going to catch yourself on the fact that you might not know how to go about a couple things. In those sections, I do recommend making, like, writing some bullshit that you know that you will most likely change because that might not fit into the story. Sometimes you come up with the need to introduce a character or an event to actually explain some other things. And usually those events have to be introduced in the past. So that's the moment where we are coming back, because then that event can be introduced, because that's like, okay, I have this idea, but I'm not sure how to unravel it. This, and this, and you are just keep going and keep going. And then like, okay, but so this character is here. We don't really see those two being friendly to each other. And over here, that character like sacrifices itself. So like, what happens here, right? So, and oh, okay, so this element doesn't fit. That's good that I've wrote to come back to it. And you're like rewriting it, and you're making this transition that those people are creating a bond, and then the person sacrifices itself. Because there has to be like, you know, a reasoning behind someone to sacrifice each other. Unless it's not like hero kind of personality, which you usually give to main heroes, right? And yeah. Oh, thought you want to do like Family Guy. What you mean? So, 3 sentences. Davis, wait. Do you know this series Kung Fu? No. No, I don't. Davis wakes up, pins to the obelisk in the middle of the clan's dungeon. An evil, a spirit calling him to action, making him use his powers to get out of the torture. Davis snaps and obliterates his clan. Davis runs from the burning village, but due to the blood loss and lack of energy, he falls unconscious. When unconscious in the middle of the desert. When a family of traveling merchants is saving him. Davis wakes up in an unknown place on a bed with his wounds wrapped in bandages. He hears outside of the doors it had a particular structure for each episode, with some problem that seemed hard, then no longer remembering the teaching part from the past in black and white, and the resolution with the teachings and thing learned from the past. And some do the roar XD. Hi Karian, glad to be here. How are you? Hope how's going? Oh, some Desert Mirage tripping and delirium part are always cool. Yeah. Like, I want to introduce that because I want to have Davis like also have some like visions, right? Like maybe like clan members that he remembered. What happening with hands? I'm like trying to move them around because I'm just like, I'm not drawing, so my hands are constantly like trying to articulate. Here's outside of the doors, screams of threats under name of Moriarty's clan members. Davis quickly escalates his bandages, unwrapping, exposing his Moriarty clan symbol, making the bandits run away. Okay. That's 4 sentences. But yeah, that you know, that's the thing. And like the mirage tripping, like I want to have this kind of thing where actually Davis is going to see is actually going to see things. Amongst that, he's going to see the he's still going to see the spirit, right? But like with more, now with more of like shadow silhouette instead of like just burning kind of like just burning splotch of fire just like speaking to him. And actually he's like going to have like there's going to be like a lot of things going on throughout the that scene, because I want to like show kind of an internal wound for Davis at that point. Alright, good night, y'all. It's 1:28 where I'm at right now, but it's been a good time watching, and again, good luck, Davis. Thanks, T. Thank you, thank you. Good night. Have a nice sleep. So yeah. Merchant thankful for saving his goods and possibly his life, and lives of his lives of his family. This treats Davis a feast to learn a bit more about to also learn more about his past. So basically, like, you know, it's so I have the idea in mind that merchants already have like already have an orphan with them, because like, you know, they're traveling merchants. They never really had an occasion to like, and the husband and the wife never are both merchants, so they have like their own thing to like make more profits. No, they don't sell the kid. Like I have the idea that they have an orphan that they still saved from the like they also saved because like some other two clans fought with each other, so they found that orphan and also picked that orphan up as their kid like bunch of years ago. So the orphan kind of grew with them as their kid. So they just yoink the kid. Yeah, kinda. Yeah. But I want to have the orphan and Davis like kinda try to make the bond. Like, hey, you know, we are like from the same kind of situation. You know, it's hard, but like they are good people. You know, so like. I want the orphan to kind of introduce Davis toward family, because like again, nomad clans, like everyone is a family, right? So everyone is like friend, a family member, and just some random person at the same time. So like there's no like like Spartans, right? Like more something like Spartans. So like the only thing that they know is that they are from that clan, and then there's like nothing else matters. There's no bonds of blood, there's nothing else. They are just one clan and that's it. You mean camaraderie? Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah. But like mothers and fathers don't treat their kids like their kids either, right? So like it's like very like be strong and survive, and maybe you live another day, you know? So like Davis, even while he was growing up, before they threw him to the tortures, he never really learned what actual family meant. So now I'm introducing the idea how to give Davis, how to teach Davis that word, right? So he's like slowly going to like develop manners, so to say. Davis and the Merchant's Kid are helping the family business, spending days on bonding as the other orphan. So they be kind of feral at the start. Yeah. That's the word I forgot. Feral. Davis is kind of like feral at the start. As the other orphan teaches him what friendship, what a basic friendship and family is. Basically. As the days pass, Davis and name for the orphan. The domestication of Debbie. Yeah. As the days pass, Davis. Oh my. Name for the orphan. Desert-like. I want. Oh my, oh your. I want the desert. I want the thing to be like feline-like, dexterous name. Fox even. Desert fox-like. Fennec. No, maybe feminine. But like Fennec, yeah, kinda. Name her whatever and change later. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, yeah. Like, I'm also not sure if I want to keep the name Shaz, right? Because but I still wrote it in the thing. Yeah, we can just change it over. Firefox for Android and was called Fennec. He Foxy. Felice? Yeah. With two L's. There you go, Felice. Davis and Felice, yeah. Makes sense. Five Nights at Freddy's comes out today. Yeah, the second one, right? The second movie. I wonder if it's going to be available to rent out. Five Nights at Felice? Oh hell no. As the days pass, Davis and Felice meet Brandon, a Lionel Guard. Lionel Guard. What's the word for a monk but in training? Soon to be a monk. Felice mean Mary. Disciple? I guess disciple. Let's go with disciple. Brandon Lionel Guard disciple who joins the friends group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 more sentences. Davis receives a letter of heroic deed. Wait. After several days, Davis receives a letter of heroic deed from the merchant against the Felice. See an anime where all of the main characters are introduced one by one and most of them start by being enemies? Wait, wasn't it like Assassin 7? Or Assassin 11? Something like that? The like comedic kind of thing? There's several days. They collect some orange balls and stuff. Yeah. God damn it. Dragon Ball? You mean Dragon Ball? Liked to yell. After several days of helping the merchant, Davis receives a letter of heroic deed from the man against the Felice's wish. So basically, like, Felice thought that Davis is going to be like a brother for her, or, you know. It's like most of the moms, the louder they yell, the harder they hit after. True. Oh, no. After several days of helping the merchant, Davis receives a letter of heroic deed from the man against Felice's wish. So basically, like, Felice begs the merchant not to give the letter to Davis because, like, she just wants... I guess we can say that, like, she just feels strong bond towards Davis. Like, she spends a lot of days with him, she just feels related to him because, like, both of them went through the same thing, like, actually brother and sister, right? So, like, she actually thinks of Davis as of a brother that she, I don't know, maybe she lost, right? Like, that's the thing. For now, I'm not getting into such details. I'm going to get into such details and I'm going to write the character descriptions. So we are going to write the character backgrounds to establish their behavior when we are going to write dialogues for them, right? Is it Felice, or Felice, or Felice? Yes. No, it's the first one with CE. Yeah, it's the first one. Because yeah, Mudo actually figured it out. Yeah, Felice. Yeah, Mudo figured it out. Felice mean Mary. Felicia. Oh my! What did I find out? How Felice is written. Because Zega asked which is the proper writing. Merry like when people marry, or merry like cheery? Oh, cheery. Feliz Navidad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more. Davis steps onto the bark that should take him to the other. He steps onto the bark that should take him to the other, to the new island. Kinda lost. He hears out his group of friends running to say their last goodbyes, promising to Davis to meet once again when he'll finish the school. Okay, so so here's what happens. Basically, you know, Davis gets out of the tortures, out of the dungeon. He figures stuff out. He works his way around with you know, just further steps, right? He talks and yeah. Oh, you know, English knows the fruit as pineapple, but the rest of the world calls it ananas. How is Navidad Christmas? Because it is. Is a word pony? Yeah, for us it's kucyk. But it's also a braid. Only Polish call it different. Eggplant. Bakłażan. Okay, so we have the synopsis of the saga. Here's the question, folks. How do you want to go about it? Do you want me to go, like, stretching now? But listen. Yes. It's like, so it's J, okay. Padlision. Okay. Oh wait, aren't your ace is? No. I'm Confucian. So, folks, do you rather me now, like, making saga synopsis for each saga that we've made and then stretch them into the... You pronounced correctly? Okay. Padlesian. Okay. um... Hmm. So basically, I'm wondering because I can could what? E. So because I can go for stretching all of the sagas that we've got right now. So like School of Heroes saga, Jupiter saga, Venus saga, Saturn saga, and Battle of God saga. Just as much as we've made everything into synopsis right now, and then stretched all of those sagas into their chapters, or I can keep going with that saga, stretch it into chapters. Yeah, there is no Z because it would be Kuchik for us. So Z, yeah. Because I guess I could finish now that saga and keep on, you know, just and then get on drawing everything for that saga, and then we could sit down and write every like more chapters for other sagas, or I can sit down and write all of those saga synopsises and prepare an entire story from the get-go. The thing is that properly you should actually sit down and write all the story from the get-go, then along with all the character backgrounds and stuff, because then you just sit down and draw everything. That's how it goes. Like a lot of most of the time when you have a scenario for things like comic books and stuff, the author more or less knows most of the thing. It's that throughout the process there are better ideas that are coming up. That's why it's good to sit down, figure things out, and then keep on adding on that. Like in the end, you know, I have more or less an idea. I have more or less what will be happening. But for example, I might not have an idea for some smaller tasks, for some fillers for the story, right? That are going to still make sense, introduce the world a little bit better, right? The thing is that I want to, like, show the world that it is right now. Because throughout the parts, the world is going to change. So now we learn how the world is going on, but then something's happening and everything works absolutely differently, right? In the second part. So you have that second part. That second part is working its way out. But then, and we are learning those new roles. We see what's left from the old world. We see what's happening right now and stuff. But then something happens again, and in the third part, once again, the world is way different. So we learn that world anew. And then we have the fourth part, and that part is also way different. So if you compare the first part to the fourth part, it's the two worlds are indistinguishable. Most of the rules are way different because, like, I want to show like I've built the entire story on the butterfly effect. There's one decision, right? Like the butterfly wings flapping in the Jurassic era, creating storms in nowadays, right? Like this is what's more or less going on. So like I want to keep at it with this kind of idea because I want to like, you know, like each part is going to show things differently and express things differently. And like each thing is going to have its own theme. That's why I'm giving it its own world to follow. That's why I think Fairy Tail author is doing a really good job with it, because mad? Why? Why you mad? Because like, you know, Fairy Tail artists wrote the world in a specific way, but we have other stories. Butterflies are creepy. Yes, they suck you dry from the inside. Anyway. Were you telling me to make the decision for Christmas? Oh? You can write me the decision in the Discord. Unlike my cousin, I see. You start as caterpillar and liquefy inside a cocoon and somehow still alive after going through a soup phase. That's also disgusting, yeah. Okay, maybe let's just go through all of the sagas, because like, you know, I guess that's going to be the best, because I'm just going to keep track of all of everything, and just as we are going to go through the chapters, I'm going to like pop some ideas and oh, actually that sounds quite cool. And I'm going to give myself time for thinking on other sagas. This, yeah, but yeah, that is actually weird. Liquefying in a freaking cocoon. What decision? Yeah, I don't like my cousin. Davis ranked as a hero rank as okay, so Davis arrives wait, actually I need to split it as much as I did in the last one, so one sentence description. By the way, for people who are thinking that it can be done with AI, what I'm doing right now, so yeah, I saw a video of my butterflies waiting outside of female cocoon. Yeah. Spawn camping. God damn it. God damn it. Yeah. So that's the one sentence. So 3 sentence description. And yeah. So the 3 sentence description. Davis arrives at Gaia, the home of heroes of as he learns about it being okay, Davis arrives at Gaia, because I also want to bring in. The thing is that I don't really understand the thing. Because I want to name them Heroes of Illida. So like the first alchemists ever, right? Weird that Devi don't just want to murder everybody. Davis is passive but hostile. So like if someone is aggressive towards him, he's not going to get back. If he's kept like an animal since childhood. Yeah, but like the thing is that's what I want to that's why I want to introduce this in the desert scene. That's what I want to introduce in that desert scene. Like why Devis is going to be like passive but hostile. You want to do a Tarzan with him. Not quite. Not quite. The merchants had a special flower rule. The thing is that Devis wasn't kept as animal from birth. He still learned some like human behavior, like how his clan members were acting. Right? And it was that like passive but aggressive behavior, right? So like when some other clan member was trying to start a fight, they were just going all out. They were like throwing the strongest spells that they knew. They were just murdering each other out there, just because they had a beef. The thing is that the only person that was stopping them from this was the shaman, right? So he knew some kind of authority, and that authority was holding him on the was actually rising him. So Devis was like raised by the shaman, and as shaman being most likely the most civilized person from the clan, he taught him a bit more. That's why Devis wasn't like full feral like rest of his clan, but he remained like passive, but still had that thing that he wasn't holding back. But Devis is the wounded cat from all romantasy novels, bruh. All people who are locked in for a long time, it's often hard for them to let go their chains. Also true. Also true. That's why also Devis is kind of like... You are going to see certain behaviors. Like I've really went a little bit deeper into psychology. That's why I've actually got my liking for psychology and human brain function, because I was doing a lot of research for that. I've done a lot of research for gods, islands, environment on the planets to match it for the environments of the islands. I've been matching culture, how cultures were rising, what brought them to their rising, what forced them to riot, what riots brought on the lands, what unraveled from those riots, and so on and so on. Just to like bring in that kind of natural evolution of the society, right? And like how, for example, beings with a lot of power were capable to form the society just because a name was thrown at them. And in this world, those beings are there. Ares, Zeus, all of those gods that we know are actually in the story as really powerful alchemists, right? So, and those actually were like, you can kind of say that some kind of politicians, right? So they are like forming cities, making rules, right? Because like they were capable to make people stop fighting. So it's a bit like God of War 2. I guess kinda. Devis arrives at Gaia. People at the port already informed of his arrival, taking him to the School of Heroes. Or like Fate Grand Order, yeah. The quick ride. Officers are sharing some knowledge to Davis. So basically, Davis of the Desert, what's your wisdom? Yeah. Or like Fate Grand Order, yeah. So basically here, like, Davis is going to ride to the school, and we are going to see that, you know, the moment someone receives the letter of the heroic deed, he's like bound to be taken to the School of Heroes, right? Because like it's not happening that often that someone would do something heroic. He learns to write. He learns how to write from the shaman, but he learns very specific dialect of Jupiterian, which a lot of people kinda understand but not really. So the merchant like teaches him how to write in the common language, because like there's a common language between the islands, and merchant being kind of actually educated person, right? Because he has a business, he's a merchant, a traveling merchant to it. So he's like traveling between islands, cities. He comes to capitals, so he's educated enough to like make some like mathematics, write, read, and stuff. And let's keep in mind that it's fantasy world, so still common folk might not necessarily have that possibility to learn unless they actually go to some kind of like knight schools or guard schools or heroes, or to the School of Heroes, right? Or something alike. So basically, like, there's still a way for them to learn those things. It's not like it's looked from them, but most of them just don't really go to those schools because they are tending to the land for their parents, for example. Something like that. But the merchant, for example, teaches Davis how to do that. And in School of Heroes, he like learns a bit more of that. This will be interesting, Davis learning alongside the merchant's child. Yeah. Which is not actually merchant's child, right? As I've mentioned previously. So yeah. The event of... People overestimate the illiteracy in the Middle Dark Ages, which most fantasy are based on. And mine is not necessarily. I've just made a thing for it. Because like also there are those dialects, right, as I've mentioned. Because for example, Jupiter comes from the folks that like split from different minds, because the Jupiter's island like population are coming, all of them are coming from the slaves that were brought to the Jupiter in the past times to farm the like minerals and stuff. So basically they all have their own dialects, they all have like their own thing. So basically it's not like they like people don't necessarily know how to write or count or stuff, but depending on their dialect they were raised in, they are going to write and talk a bit differently, so people might not necessarily have this thing going on, right? Because it's also coming from the other island that they were brought from. I just realized it's Australia. God damn it. Imagine. The event of entry exam starts. Students are taken in front of the alchemical mirror, being a black slab of reflective material. I guess I'm not going to really explain what it is, I'm just going to explain it later on in details. Mirror shines light with different variety. The Black Mirror Harry Potter edition. Yeah. A sorting hat, let's go. Light with different variety. Then Aiko from Akemi clan gets called in, making the mirror shine with different colors, making her assorted as the first one in the exam to the rank S. It would be interesting if Davis was wounded as he met the merchants. He would not be able to stop them from treating him. This also solves the it literally is like that, because Davis literally has his entire back torn apart by the whip. Like you know, the model. The model. Right? Like, it's literally like this. Like Davis actually is passing out because of the blood loss and stuff, right? So they actually are treating his wounds. He wakes up with like bandage stuff. 300 IQ, let's go. But yeah, it is, you know, I was thinking about the same problem that you've mentioned, because it wasn't making like dementia moments. Sorry, I probably zoned out while painting. No, it's okay, like, because it literally proves the point that it has to be like that, because psychologically and logically it wouldn't make sense if Davis just randomly wouldn't start butcherizing the family of merchants with no intent. He sees that they are helping him. They just make Davy Burrito and pacificate. Then Davis is called without having his clan being mentioned. So like, it's just going to be like, and they are calling people, right? Like Aiko from the clan of Akemi, right? And like she has to comment, and then it's like out of nowhere there's just one guy, Davis from Jupiter, and that's it. What happened to the plants? Imagine. We'll see. No puns moment. The mirror appears to absorb the light, creating a dark aura around, and it implodes. Headmaster assorting him, well, so and implodes assorting him to the rank as, to the shock of the gathered. Headmaster makes a new mirror What do you mean a pimp rod? Actually, he doesn't. Davis doesn't acquire it. It's like it's something I've added to Davis when I've got the model for VTubing. Because my left knee is busted, I've like gave Davis a cane. And calls in no Pim Davis. Shaz from the clan of Fenrir. On which the mirror casts the light on the entire arena and explodes. That's going to be very... David has to discover these eggs. So like it's going to be very specific because for Davis the mirror implodes. It was literally absorbing the light, so everything was like being gathered inside, while for Shaz the light was so intense that it literally exploded. And explodes. Davis Twilight Moment, shiny diamond skin, bruh. Assorting him also to the Rankas. Okay. Davis goes through his school years, learning to live among normal people. Headmaster just creates another one. Davis goes through his school years learning to live among normal people and bonding with Aiko as more and more intrigue around his being starts to unravel. At the end of the school, Davis and Shaz place an oath and depart into their ways. That's a bit longer. It's not necessarily just normal 3 sentences, but I kind of had to for the sake of keeping out of information. So now the so now we have that, and what? Oh, come on. That goes here. Okay. And now Saga synopsis. Okay. I guess we are going to do the 2 saga synopsis, and then it'll be it. I was trying to paint a mirror scene, but it looks like I'm inside a claw machine. Oh my. So now the 9 sentences, right? Davis arrives on the... No, oh no, what do you mean? Davis arrives on the island on Gaia. A green island that the boy would never even imagine. Carrying in a claw machine. Someone gotta pick him up. The boy will never even imagine to exist. There you go. At the shore, already 2 officers awaited him to bring Davis to the School of Heroes. As they were quickly riding for the exam, officers explained to Davis that Gaia is a home island for establishing heroes of Illida. From which headmaster of the school lasts from. Actually, maybe a bit differently. From which headmaster of the school, Atlas and Democles were members of. There you go. I just thought of painting a claw machine with everyone's OCN, the chars from Gilded for Christmas. I would have to turn everything into a plush. Let's go, Carrion. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. Writing for it. Okay. And at the exam, Davis was placed in the queue for the assortment as one of the last ones. Carry in a claw machine. Yeah. That's what we're talking about. For the assortment as one of the last ones. The Sonya style studies, it would look cursed with my current style. It's confused as F. Yeah. Everyone called name by name to the black mirror that's been shining a light of various intensity, slowly finishing the queue. Aiko, a girl standing right next to Davis, gets called. When the mirror shines a rainbow light. I'm just going to call it rainbow light because, like, headmaster assorts her to the rank S. Next comes Davis, on which the mirror at first doesn't do anything, but soon enough starts to absorb the light. To everyone's shock, Davis gets assorted to the rank S. Next, a man after a slightly older man, a slightly older boy from Davis. That's being the last in the queue is being called as Shaz from the clan of Fenrir, which startles the viewers, especially when the now fixed mirror starts to shine light strong enough to cover the entire arena. He has a Saitama moment, he gets stuck in the arena ceiling where they measure high jump. Imagine. Okay. After the assortment and breaks, making him assorted to rank S. Hi Unknown, good to have you here. How are you? How's it going? Okay. After the ceremony, one of the Jupiter's candidates makes an objection to Davis's assortment, making him challenging him to a fight. Remember when Vegeta casually broke the boxing machine and punched through 2 walls with it? Yeah. Changing him to a fight. Davis is made to fight the boy. That's when Davis uses Moriarty's clan special ability, bringing attention to him. And defeating ability and defeating the boy. Pulls down pants, shut up. The boy, bringing attention to him. As the school years are passing by, Davis learns about his existence as he is a unclean. Hi uncle, good to have you here. How are you? Hope how's it going? Have you been? Hi, haven't seen you in a while, buddy. Have you been? About his existence as he is a being made of pure alchemy, made by Atlas. To his surprise, he also learns about his destiny to fight Shaz, as Atlas and Democles once did. The end. You plan on doing some struggles too? Like Devi not understanding some subjects and needs others' help and that kind of stuff? Yes. Yes. because like again, Davis literally has been like he is still kind of feral, so he's still kind of like learning new things. And for example, Aiko is like going to teach him some more stuff. Sometimes teachers are going to teach him some stuff. There's also going to be also a teacher who's also an ex-Moriarty's clan member who actually went through the same kind of torture way as Davis was and got literally kicked out from the clan. So basically his entire body is going to be like covered with these scars. He's going to be like crazed to be like strongly against everyone from the Moriarty's clan and stuff. But there's going to be like some kind of like animal to animal teaching, you know, like two animals from the same kind of like pack teaching one another, right? So like despite the anger and stuff, like it's still going to be the typical for Moriarty's clan teaching way that this teacher could never really do, right? At the end of the school, Davis and Chaz put a swords oath. Promising to either meet each other at the end of the world and fight for their life and death, or finding peace in their lives. And ending the started by their parents battle. There you go. So it's like parents, but yeah. Psst. Because Chaz is a descendant of Dimokas. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Good to go. Yeah, I'm actually just finished the second synopsis, so tomorrow be good. Yeah, till tomorrow. I'm also going to. I was about to say we are going to end the stream. So thanks Zega, thanks Muto, thanks Karen for being active on Twitch, thanks Ayumi, T, Unknown Person, and Uncle for being active in chat on YouTube. Meanwhile, folks, stay creative and I hope to see you all in the next one. Take care and